Robert is a brilliant student who just got graduated. He got straight A's and now has a wonderful business idea. He discusses it with his friends and they say it's gonna be the next Facebook. Just as Robert takes a start, he steps into the real world with his brilliant mind. He grows highly impatient. Seeing his early failures, he grows too dependent on his friends for advice who guides his company into ruin. He has also grown more and more inflexible. He is not changing his original plans with a changing circumstance because Robert believed that it worked well on paper and he had all sorted out at the start. After a year or so of struggle, Robert's business idea is in ruins and now he has huge sums of debt to pay off. A person would say Robert was intelligent and knew his stuff, then what could possibly go wrong? Well, the thing is, for success and mastery, it's not only your intelligence or idea that matters, it's your emotional resilience that matters more than anything. It's how you avoid emotional pitfalls along the way. When as a child we see successful people, we mostly attribute their success to their higher IQ or their luck. But one thing we fail to see is their emotional resilience that play a major role in their success. We might have the greatest business idea, but if we are not careful, we will tumble into the emotional pitfalls. Before looking on to the 6 emotional pitfalls, subscribe to Knowledge Guru for informative content. The first one is complacency. Once we are student, our minds are flexible. We try to absorb as much as information as we want. But as we grow older, we can't help but feel satisfaction in what we have already learned and how far we have progressed. Slowly, we stop asking questions that aroused an hour before. We feel ever so superior. Our mind slowly narrows and tightens as complacency creeps into our soul. To avoid complacency, we have to constantly remind ourselves of how little we know. In the case of Robert, he thought he knew all from his business books, but that was not how things worked in the real world. He had so much to learn, yet he showed complacency. The second one is conservatism. Well, let's say a person Taylor in his 90s has a cassette recorder business. His business has thrived and has earned him huge sums of money and a good living. As we move on to the 21st century, MP3 players arrive, but Taylor is adamant that cassettes work well for him and he is not going to change his business. Then imagine what happened. Taylor saw through his own eyes the hydra of MP3 players eating cassettes along with his business and living. In the initial days of our work, if we get any kind of attention or success for our work, then we may be at the risk of creeping into conservatism. We may begin to fall in love with the ideas and strategies that worked for us in the past. Why take risk now and change our style in the midstream or adopt a new approach to work? Creativity is by nature an act of boldness and rebellion. If we let conservatism into our lives, we create a downward spiral. We find ourselves even more into dead ideas, past successes, and the need to maintain our status. If we make creativity our goal instead of comfort, we ensure far more success in future. Dependency. In the learning or in the apprenticeship phase, we seek the approval of our teacher or mentors. Once we are out of that phase and still need others' approval for our work, we will never attain mastery, as we are always insecure about how we will be judged and will be blown here and there by opinions of others. If you are a painter and draw something creative but say, I don't know if my master will approve this or not, then you are not on the path to progress. Impatience. Leonardo da Vinci, the famous artist's motto was this expression, ostinato rigore, translating into stubborn rigor. For every project he involved himself in, there were hundreds of them. He attacked them with the same vigor and tenacity as in the start of the project. You don't grow impatient. No matter how disciplined we are continually haunted by impatience. Well, I am putting all of my effort in my YouTube channel. Why are my subscribers not growing? Or, I have this wonderful product. Why are not my customers increasing? When we grow impatient, we gradually tend to lose the energy and rigor that we had in the start of project. Hurrying to the end will produce mediocre results and remove the element of creativity. Therefore, the best way to neutralize the natural impatience is to cultivate a kind of pleasure in pain, like an athlete. You come to enjoy the rigorous practice, pushing past your limits and resisting the easy way out. Grandiosity. Sometimes great dangers come from success and praise than from criticism. We depend on being at the right place at the right time. We come to think that our brilliance has naturally drawn out our success and attention. Once the ego inflates, it will only come back to earth through some jarring failure. Success was most certainly not the result of your brilliance alone. Luck did play its part and helped you, as did all of your mentors who paved the way for you. If we learn to handle criticism well, it can strengthen us and help us become more aware of the flaws in our work. Inflexibility. Flexibility is not an easy or natural quality to develop. Once you spend a period of time being excited and hopeful about an idea, you will find it hard to shift to a more critical position. We must always try to bend to the moment and adopt the attitude appropriate to the moment. As Darwin has said, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, but the one more adaptable to change. We must always be flexible and adaptable, and never adopt inflexible attitude, be in business or personal life. Only then we'll be on the path to mastery. Now these were 6 emotional pitfalls to avoid in life. If you want to add something to this, mention it down in the comments below. And thanks for watching.